right, from Bug Eye Guys, we got some beautiful machinery here today. I'm excited to have this stuff all around. That's a 68 Morgan 44, a 71 BGT, and this is a 66 BGT. And I have a particular affinity for these because my first car was a 66 B Roadster, and I still have a 67, very much like this, a GT. So I'm really excited to have this car for sale, and I wanted to give you a walk around tour. This is a car that belonged to a friend of mine, and he had us do a ton of work on it, and we did that work. We sold it to another great client and friend in Minnesota. He had it for a year or two, and then he just sold it back to me. So it's here again for sale, and let me show you some of the cool things we did, because we really made this car special. It is a somewhat patinaed car, not quite as patinaed as the Morgan. There are some people who might want to repaint this. I would not recommend that because it's really quite nice, although there is some crazing. But we did try to upgrade the stuff that you do see and that you do kind of live with all day. This is a new leather interior for the seats and new foams. And then we put in a whole new carpet kit. And the real prize is that Miata transmission. I'll go around to the other side, but that's a 5-speed Miata gearbox. So, you know, in the old days, the overdrive was a serious option. This still has the original switch, which is kind of fun, but it's not connected to anything. But now we have a 5-speed, and it's a buttery smooth Miata gearbox. Hey, if you're a purist and you really want the overdrive, I'm totally with you on that, and that's fine. But the overdrive has more moving parts than probably the whole car, and they're prone to failure, and this thing is probably going to outlive all of us, including the next ice age. So the Miata gearbox is super stout and a lot of fun, and it works really well. So that's what's in this particular car. It's a perfect contrast to this original AM radio, which is just a work of art. I don't even think it lights up or works, but it looks just right and it belongs there. So that's what we have in this car. We have a fantastic driving car. It's fast, and because it has the original setup, which I'll show you. It has twin HS2 carbs, HS4 carbs, the 1.5 carbs, and it's just a mostly original looking engine bay, which is very sweet, but it's very quick, and it's closer to 100 horsepower. All the later MGBs, the horsepower just continued to drop. But it's also really rare to have a metal dash car where the dash is in such nice shape. This is the original pad, and that's nice, but this crinkle finish, I don't think this was ever redone. I see there may have been some chafe under some black tape here. I didn't peel that off to see. That's probably a casualty of old key fob habits. I bet that's what happened. But I didn't even notice that until just now, but it's not perfect. But good reminder not to overdo your key fobs if you have an old classic car, because it will abrade it. But in any event, this metal dash presents beautifully. Most of them have been refinished. There's one scratch here too, unfortunately, but it fits the car. The other thing that's kind of fun about these is this is the wipers. No, fan wipers. That's what it is. Fan wipers, and the headlights on this one are here. And what's fun, if it works, yeah, this funny little interior light, as though it would really do much, but it only works when the park lights or headlights are on. People sometimes wonder, hey, it doesn't work. It's only fed power through this headlight switch. So you would only let your date get on board with this little light if it was nighttime. You wouldn't use it any other time, or if the lights were on. So, and you have windshield washers here, which probably never worked very well. And we have the horn here. This is a really nice original wheel with some original cracking. These were vulnerable when you get into cracking. So if you end up with one of these cars, you have to be mindful that they're not very strong. These are the correct gauges. It shows 47,500 miles. It could be 147,000, I don't really know. But the car drives really well. It's not a worn out old MG. It's a very stout MG. And you can see also, like, the headliner is really nice. The rear seats were redone. We put these 3-point belts in, which is a great upgrade. We mount those back here on brackets that we made. This is the original seat. It has, the battery boxes under here. I mean, it's been recovered, but it's the original design. This is the funniest little 2+2 car that you could get, even funnier than 911s, because these rear seats are really a joke. But let me see if I can fold it for you, if I can do this from this side. There you go. That's up and that's folded back. Isn't that great? I guess if you wanted, you can always do this, and that gives you this weird angle, but you can also remove this and just leave it folded down. But that kind of brings me to my other favorite thing. If you look in here, you have quite a bit of storage space. I have put my bicycle in one of these, my green one, the 67. I put my bike with the wheels off on the back, on a big mat, of course, to protect it. But it's nice to have a British classic car that you can fit stuff into, because I'm used to these tiny little roadsters. You can't really store much stuff, but in this car you can hold a lot. And then these vent windows are really trick. In my opinion, that's just another really cool. I get excited about these old vintage details. The shapes and the way that they're made are just, it's from a time long gone. And even these funny hinges, I'll open it while you're there. You can see it from that side. This is like the anti-telescopic strut. Like, if you have a 911 with your engine bay door that keeps sagging because you have to change the struts, this is the 1960s British version of how to make an over-center hatchback stay open, which I just think are really cool. So you have these quirky and at times useless little details, but they are beautiful and, in my opinion, somewhat special. And there are a lot of them loaded up in this car. Let's go look under the hood. All right, so this is the aluminum original bonnet. That's a cool feature. Some of them have been replaced with steel ones, but this is the original aluminum one. And then under the hood you have the original oil cooler, although we put on new lines so that there would be no question about this rubber's integrity. It has an additional blade on the fan. It's 7 blades or whatever was available to spin more air. I think there were originally 4 blades and this one is 7. It's the correct 18 GB, which is a 5-main bearing early 1800 engine. So again, closer to 100 horsepower. These I think are HS, they're HSs, but I think they're 4s. If that's the stock size, would be 1.5-inch carbs. And the original heater valve, and we've upgraded it with electronic ignition, and there is a spin-on oil filter. It's still a generator, the original one. I see it looks like we have a leak. We do have a leak here. I'm so glad I saw this. It looks like the brake light switch is leaking. So we'll need to fix that. And that's something we need to fix right away before it eats up the paint. But so this is a union of all the brake lines, and I'm guessing that the union between the brake switch and the union is leaking, so we'll fix that. It has a new oil pressure gauge line, which is great because we don't want ever to have those fail. They make quite a mess. And then it also has a remote bleeder for the clutch slave cylinder. The rest of the engine bay is, I think perfectly patinaed to match the car, if you like that sort of thing. But it's not a restored car, and it's not a restored engine bay. But mechanically, it's been all set up, new fuel lines, and of course a new fuel filter, that's easy, and new water hoses. So it's been well cared for by all 3 of the most recent owners. And I would anticipate that this would be a great car to just basically fly to our place and drive it wherever you want to go. The 5-speed will take you there with ease, especially once we fix this hydraulic leak. So the trim, the chrome is in nice shape. It's I wouldn't be surprised if this was replaced at some point. I can't say for certain. It looks like it could be the original stuff. It's certainly in nice shape. And then they're upgraded, brighter halogen lights, or they may even be LEDs, so they're H4 lights. And the emblem's in nice shape. I don't know, this in some ways is just kind of like the perfect weathered but not too weathered car. I think the worst, there was one spot in the paint here. Let me make sure you can see this. This might be the worst of it. It's just sort of either was banging into something, you know, someone was opening the door into things, or it chipped. I don't think it's that bad. It's so nice to have gray and burgundy together. This is the original gray. Yeah, here's another section that's just a little bit, it's failing. It's old. If you take care of this paint, I don't see why it wouldn't last, but there are people who would want to paint this. I know we've also adjusted the doors so they fit nicely. And then these are beautiful XAS Michelin tires. They look really cool, and they also look like they're correct for the period. They are a vintage tire recreation. So yeah, and here's a little more patina here. But it is not a rusty car. If you know MGBs, you know that they often will lose their rocker panels. This car is in really nice solid shape underneath as well. We're going to end it right there. Thank you for watching. I love this car, and give us a call at Bug Eye Guys.